to do a pregnancy tag. I was tagged by Amanda from Eat, Pray, Crunch to do this tag. I haven't really read through it, so you're getting my first response on these. The first question is, what day did you find out that you were pregnant? And honestly, I don't remember. I was actually looking for my calendar to see if I could find out what day specifically. A little bit of the backstory was I was going to have dental surgery, and so I had weaned Samuel, and that had messed up my ovulation, and I got pregnant sometime and didn't really even know it. So after 2 weeks of nausea that did not go away, I finally accepted that I did not have the flu and took a pregnancy test, and sure enough, I was pregnant. So that would have been around July somewhere, probably beginning of July. So yeah. How did you feel when you found out? Honestly, just shocked. Yeah, it was a little bit much to take in at first, but very quickly, I mean, any baby's welcome. So we were happy to be having our third child. Who was with you? I was alone in my bathroom when I took the test. I got up early before Joe went to work, and I took the test, and then I went and told him the news. And who was the first person you told? It was my husband, Joe. So the next question is, how did your parents react? And also, how did his parents react? Those are the next two questions. Well, we didn't tell anyone at first. We were just kind of adjusting to the idea ourselves. And so it was just kind of a neat little time between Joe and I that we just kind of kept to ourselves. And we had meant to have our first doctor's appointment, and then we were going to, you know, surprise all of our family and friends with the news. Only the day before my doctor's appointment, I started bleeding, and we thought I was miscarrying. So, of course, at that point, we were headed into an appointment, and needed someone to watch the children. Joe did not go to work, of course. He didn't want to go to work and not be there because I was bleeding. And yeah, so when we told our parents, we told them that we thought we were miscarrying, at least Joe's parents. And then when we went to the doctor's appointment, and they scheduled an ultrasound, and the ultrasound came back saying that the baby did have a heartbeat, and that there was a subchorionic hemorrhage and everything that was bleeding, that was causing bleeding. We told my parents live out of state, and we wanted to be honest with them, so we just said, you know, here's what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen. And they were very positive as far as being hopeful, and just saying that they were going to trust for the best, that things were going to work out. So, yeah. Are they helping with baby names? No. Not really. That's something that my husband and I will do. Have they bought anything for the baby yet? Actually, I don't think so. Do they call to check on you? Joe's mom does. She definitely calls occasionally and wants to know how I'm doing. But I also see them pretty frequently too, and so they kind of know how I'm doing. What is your due date? My due date is February 28th. How far along am I? I am 33 weeks and 3 days. Have you had any ultrasounds? I have had multiple ultrasounds because of the hematoma. I'm trying to think. I would have had one at 10 weeks, one at 13 weeks, one at 15 weeks. Trying to think what else. One at 19 weeks, and then one at 30 weeks. So that's a total of 5. I think that's all of them. Yeah. And that was just because they were keeping an eye on the hematoma. Did you find out the sex, or are we waiting until birth? We did find out the sex. Hey, little one, that's a little bit noisy, okay? It makes it hard for them to hear, Mama. We did find out that we're having a baby girl, and we're very excited. What do you want? I wanted a baby girl. What does Daddy want? I bet Daddy wanted a boy. But at the same time, we're just happy with a healthy baby. Have you had your big ultrasound yet? Yes, we had the anatomy scan and everything was great. The baby was growing right on track. Okay, so now the next questions are about the birth. Who is going to be with you? Excuse me. Last time it was just Joe and I, and then the doctors and the nurses, of course. But I am still debating this time having a doula, partly because I'm kind of a little bit concerned about this baby's position. And I know that my husband is just not going to have the time or the patience to really go through the training of being able to handle a labor that is a malpresentation labor. And I'd really like to go without an epidural this time. So I'm still throwing around that question. I'm kind of a private person though, so the thought of having someone there is a little bit like, I don't know, it feels a little awkward or weird to me. But for sure my husband, and then the rest is still up in the air. If we were to have another C-section, I've had a vaginal birth and a C-section. If we were to have another C-section, I would kind of throw around the possibility of my mother-in-law being there, just because there's just always that, it's just nice when mom is not really able to be as involved to have that extra set of hands. So, yeah. Are you going to videotape it? We haven't videotaped any of the others, and I'm not sure that we would videotape this one. Natural or medicated? I'm hoping natural. Do you think you will need a C-section? I certainly hope not. But if anything, my first labor taught me that you can never predict these things. Labor is just so unpredictable. So in the back of my mind, I always prepare myself just to go with what presents itself and to make my decisions based on what, you know, because every labor is different, every baby's different. So I still have the kind of I'll wait and see sort of attitude. Let's see. Will you cry when you hold your baby for the first time? Probably. Do you think Daddy will cry? I don't know. He might get a little teary-eyed. Hopefully he doesn't faint this time. He just walked in the door. He fainted last time.
That's huge.
Do you know what you will say to the baby when you first hold him or her? No, I don't. I don't know what I'll say. Maybe I'll tell you after the fact or whatever. Are you scared about this labor? I think there's always those fears that you have. I think I've had more fears than I thought I would, because I felt like with my VBAC that I had worked through a lot of fear, and that I had come to terms with my C-section, and that I was really okay with things. I think the thought of maybe this baby not being in the correct position has been difficult for me, because a lot of what happened with my C-section was due to malpresentation. And I think though that I'm better educated this time, and I have a different doctor this time. So I'm really hoping that, and I've also had a vaginal birth this time. So I'm trying to get into that mindset that just because there's a malpresentation doesn't mean that that's going to be a C-section or anything like that. Because I know that there's a lot that can be done. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there are fears, but at the same time, I feel like I'm really working past those and just trying to hope for the best and believe for the best. Ultimately, though, it's something that we do leave up to God and know that whatever happens, it will be for the best for us and for the baby. On to names. Do you have a name picked out?
Yeah, she is.
Not really. There's a name in mind, but I'm kind of having a hard time saying that this baby is this name. Just one second. Hey, Avia, can you please be quiet? Okay? If you need to talk, go into the other room, okay? Sorry about that. She is doing really well for her. It's very difficult for her to be quiet. And the next question is your baby going to be named after someone? And that's where, like, there is someone I would like to name my baby after. But I'm just not sure if this baby is that name. And so that's where I'm having a hard time actually coming down and saying this is the name or anything like that. So, and my husband is really one of those that likes to see the baby before he names the baby. Okay, other random questions. Where was your baby conceived? Oh. I don't think I'll go there. I really liked Amanda from Eat, Pray, Crunch's response though. I thought that was adorable. She was like, in bed? Have you felt the baby move? Yes, because I'm 33 weeks, so I feel a lot of movements. Do you have any stretch marks yet? No. I am one of those, and I've heard that it's really genetic, because my mom did not get stretch marks. I don't think my sister really got stretch marks. We might get like the really tiny ones, and if I do get them, it's mainly in my thighs, but I don't really get stretch marks on my belly. And I think that's just, I'm just lucky that way. It's I don't think it has anything to do with anything that I'm doing or putting on my belly or anything like that. I think it's really genetic. What was your first symptom? Nausea and extreme exhaustion. What is the baby's room theme? I don't have the baby's room done. But I have a friend coming over this week and we're going to work on it. I was looking on Amazon and I found this really adorable blanket, and it was kind of pinkish. It was a pinkish muslin with little lambs all over it, and I thought, oh, this is our last baby, and for me this is really special, so I want things to be special. I want the room to be special. I want, yeah. And I kind of thought maybe a little lamb theme would be fun. But pretty much it will also be blue and pink. So like the room is painted like a bright baby blue, or like a sky blue. And then the accents will all be pink, like the bedding, and I want to get some pink pom-poms to hang down, and then I'll probably put some artwork up on the walls as well. What was the first thing you bought for the baby? First thing. I don't really know. We have bought a few things from the thrift store, and I did finally find an outfit that I really like at Target. And I have a few more things that I do need to buy yet. I haven't really gone overboard with a lot of stuff because I have 2 previous children and I have a boy and a girl, so it's not like there's a lot that I need. Will you use cloth diapers? Yes. And actually that's something that I still need to make because I'm making some newborn diapers, some all-in-one newborn diapers. I'll have to show you. I'll make a video on them. Breastfeeding or formula? Breastfeeding. What is your favorite pregnancy books? I don't really know if I have a favorite pregnancy books, and honestly, I haven't really looked at them a lot with this pregnancy. You know, with my first pregnancy, I just poured over them. With my second pregnancy, I definitely referred to them. And then with this pregnancy, really not much at all. I do feel a little bit behind, and I was looking at some books online because I feel like I should just brush up a little bit on some different things. I've done a lot of online reading. I'm reading through the Spinning Babies website again, just because there's a lot of things that help with labor on there. And I'll be reading more of that as I get closer to my due date. What do you look forward to doing again once you're no longer pregnant? Oh, I want to start running. I'm just really looking forward to that, and getting fit and losing some weight. So I'm really looking forward to that. Is Daddy ready to be a daddy? Yeah, I think so. He's a really good dad, and he's really good with his babies. I just love watching him being a dad. It's just amazing. And am I ready to be a mommy? Obviously, I'm already a mommy. I think for me, the question would be, am I ready to be a mommy of 3? And I don't know. There's just part of that, like every time you bring home another baby, there's always that transition that you go through. There's those adjustments that you go through, and part of that is never going to be lost. Maybe like if you have 5 to 6 children and you've done this already 4 to 5 times, maybe that's easier. I would think by the 4th child it would be easier. But I will have 3, 4 and under, and so I'm a little bit nervous just on how that's going to go. We'll definitely be watching other people's YouTube videos and trying to learn and take in as much as I can from there. Anyway, that's it. I have a couple people that I want to tag, and I'll put their links in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed my answers. If you're watching this and pregnant, please do the tag too, and put your video in the links below so that I can go and watch it. Anyway, thanks guys. Hope you're having a wonderful winter day. Bye.